There we go. That's been the same for months, actually. I get confused every time. Okay. Welcome everybody to our team call. We're really excited to be here with you. As you can see, Rebecca and I are in completely different places. She's in a hotel room in London.
In the corridor, actually, and if the light keeps going off, I have to jump up and do a silly dance to keep going back on.
And I'm still in our cupboard in our Airbnb. So here we go.
Living the presidential diamond life.
Yeah, hiding from the kids. So you can do it all. One day we'll have a house and like a big studio, like, you know, where we come from, you know, very soon. That's the goal. It's the goal. But we've got a good lineup tonight to share with you. You'll have to forgive my PowerPoint. I've not even double checked the slides. I've been racing to get the presentation finished for you, but we've got some great information that I wanted to share on PowerPoint to get it a little bit better for you. But it's going to be a bit hit and miss tonight because we've been at an event all weekend and it's been very busy, but really exciting as well. And also want to show you that when you do team calls, you don't need to have it perfect. All right. And you're going to see that it ain't perfect. Well, you probably noticed that from all our other team calls, but this one's probably even worse. So let me.
Just before you start, Nate, can I just say I'm just reading some of the chat, loving it, loving. So lots of you love the connection. Neil said you always leave feeling a new person, slightly different person. I love that. And someone said they've left a toxic job so they can spend more time now on doTERRA. So congratulations, that's great.
Yeah, give it away. Do you want to do this bit, babe? We didn't discuss who was doing what, did we?
Yeah. Yes. Cool. Okay. So you should probably all know about the amazing convention that's coming up in Portugal, Shine, 5th and 6th of May. Hopefully we'll see lots of you there. The UK Business Summit sold out. It's gone. Why did you put that on there?
Well, because I didn't have time to take it off.
Perfect, but that's a very good event.
Yeah.
Very good event. It's so nice to see you.
I did want to say about Shine, the convention, is that the day before convention on the 4th is Empowerment Day, and that looks top. What's going to be shared at that is looking really great. So if you're coming to convention, get on the 4th of May. It's going to be great.
Yeah, in fact, last year, I think I had my biggest aha moments from the Empowerment Day. So you just never know where they're going to come. The Empowerment Days are amazing because you get to hear from leaders across Europe. So it's nice, you know, a bit different. And then you have the Stronger Together Leadership Retreat. There you go, just reading that. Yes. I know, suddenly I had a blank moment then. The Stronger Together Leadership Retreat, 6th to 7th of October. So you can get prepping for that. That is for Premiers and above, Nate, remind me?
It's Silvers and above.
Silvers and above, brilliant. Silvers and above.
And also there will be an event after that. We're just finalising the dates. That's going to be like the Marlow event that we've just had, but it's probably going to be up north near Manchester. And the dates will be finalised very soon. So that's going to be really good events as well.
Yeah. Where is the Stronger Together one, Nate?
I do know, but I'm not allowed to say it, I think.
Okay.
I don't know if we're allowed to say that yet. So sorry.
Well, this is very exciting. We can tell you all about this one. So Emily Wright is incredible. If you don't know Emily, if you're new, because I know a couple of you said in the chat you're new tonight. So Emily is one of the founding executives of doTERRA and is now gone even higher than that, really, because she's kind of joint running the show with Corey Linley. She is such an inspiration. She has an incredible story of how from the very beginning, it was her that had the inspired idea for David Sterling and her and Dr. Hill to form doTERRA. So she is, you know, been in doTERRA since the beginning and gone through a lot of growth, a lot of pain at the beginning as well, and sacrifice to bring us to where we are today. So she's a strong woman, very resilient, got so many things that she can share with us. So actually, throughout the call tonight, could you please put in the chat any questions you'd like to ask Emily? Because I'm going to put some questions forward to Emily, and it'd be nice to see what you guys would like to know. And we'll see there's some patterns. We probably won't be able to ask her all your questions. We've got her for 45 minutes on, it's a Tuesday. So please note, it's a Tuesday. Emily can't do any Mondays. So it's Tuesday, the 28th of March, and a slightly weird time as well. It's 7:45 p.m. So 7:45 till 8:30 p.m. and it will be incredible. She's just coming on to speak to our team, so that would just be amazing.
And just so you know, just so you can send some love towards Rebecca for getting this, like, there is not a better speaker we could have found for you. So like for our doTERRA business, like Emily is fantastic. All right. So, I didn't finish that slide. Here we go. But we just had a wonderful event in Marlow. So we just wanted to acknowledge some people. Okay. It was amazing. We loved it. And we just wanted to acknowledge the speakers. Now, one of the cool things that we saw at the event is that 70% of the team were speaking and helping with this event. So a massive congratulations to all of you, and some of you overcoming some of your blocks, speaking for the first time. Amazing. So we just want to acknowledge these people. So thank you very much for the wonderful jobs that you did and for sharing. And there were many of you that were in attendance that also brought a lot of love and a lot of energy to the event, and we appreciate all of you for coming. So it was really great. It's wonderful to be part of the community with you all. So
yeah, one of the things you'll love, you know, a lot of you have already experienced this already, having downline, and those of you that haven't, it's another unexpected just amazingness from doTERRA. And that as you start to get a team and you see your team members speaking, it's the most, like, you're buzzing from it. You're just oozing with pride, and it's just a really lovely perk to the business. So yes, you will experience that if you haven't already.
Yes. And I'll put this one, is the only one I had of Kathy. I thought I took a couple, but there's only one of Kathy. So Kathy's going to really appreciate me putting that picture in. You're welcome.
She's looking pensive.
You're welcome, Kathy. So I went on a lovely trip. The Blues and Presidentials got to do a trip and they do it once a year, to different places. And this year we got to go to Greece and to look at the sourcing of wild orange. Now, did you know that wild orange is actually a blend of 3 different types of wild orange? Okay. Now, I've got more information for you. So that is a personal joke. I made a bit of an error at the weekend. Lisa Rooney said that, and then I exactly copied her because I wasn't listening to what she was saying. So bit of a faux pas. But doTERRA's wild orange is exclusive to doTERRA, and these are the reasons. One is because it's 3 different wild oranges. Okay, so it's a blend. So there isn't one company on earth that's going to be able to say they've got doTERRA's wild orange. Okay, that's why it's completely unique, because they blend the 3 different oranges. Okay, one of the oranges comes from Nafpillo in Greece, which is where we saw. The other 2 types of orange, okay, they're from Brazil. And I actually I text the sourcing guy. I made friends with the doTERRA sourcing guy on the trip. He was there. So I text him, and he said The other two varieties of orange come from south and southeast of Brazil. The majority from Rio Grande do Sul state and a portion from Sao Paulo state. So then they mix those blends, and then they create the blend, which they send to the departments to then be bottled. And what's that called? Where did we go in Corkbeck? What's that called? The bottling plant, and I forgot the name of it. Anyway, the Cork facility. If anyone's got it, our mind's gone blank what it's actually called, but it's the Cork facility where they do the bottling of it.
You mean the distillery?
Thank you. That's it. Distillery. Thank you. So all the oils go into there, and I'll show you a little bit of that. We actually got to go 2 months ago to see that for the first time. So that was great as well. I'll show you a little bit of that. So Sophia, one of the wonderful things about this trip was I got to take Sophia, my oldest daughter, with me. Rebecca didn't go on this one; she could have, but Sophia came with me instead, and it was a wonderful. This is one of the things that I like about doTERRA is it's very family orientated, and they let me bring Sophia for the week, and a wonderful experience with Sophia to show her all this. So this is just a couple of pictures of us in the trees, in the orange orchards, and there's hectares. I couldn't get a picture of to show you how many hectares of wild oranges there are in this place. It's massive. Okay, and just a few pictures of us picking it. And then when they pick it onto these. You see the two pictures on the left, on the top left. They pick them and then they put them onto the trucks, and then the trucks drive them in to the sorting to like the orange factory. Let's call it the orange factory, and then they're then sorted, or not sorted, but they're then put into these cages. And the reason they're put into those cages is so that they're not just in one big lump, which means that they can't breathe as much. So they're put like that so the oranges can breathe and last a longer time. Okay, like that. And then they're brought over by forklift when it's time for them. They're brought over by the forklift, if you can see on the right-hand side. The forklift then puts them onto the conveyor belt, dumps the cage of wild oranges into the conveyor belt, and the conveyor belt at the bottom then brings them up and puts them into the initial sorting. Okay, and that's where they're initially crushed, just as they drop into that, and they're also sorted. So on the other side in the warehouse, you've got ladies taking out anything that might be untoward out of there, anything that got through. Okay. Now we weren't allowed to take pictures inside, but it's cool to see the process. So at the end, they create pulp. They create all kinds of things from the wild orange, from the oranges, all kinds of things, and it's a zero waste chain. What do you call it? Supply chain. So they don't waste any of the orange, not one single bit, right? So this is the pulp that comes out after everything's extracted, and that goes and is fed to animals. Okay, and that's a big part of what's left over once they've extracted everything. So this is me and Sophia, going through the plant. So the essential oil is actually taken quite at the beginning of the process. Okay, so what happens is that when it first gets crushed, first of all, most of the juice is crushed out. Okay, and what's left is the pulp and the rind. Okay, and then that gets put into the extractor, and then that gets put. It's called centrifuge. How do you say it? Centrifuge.
Centrifuge.
Yes, thank you. That's centrifuge.
Yes.
And so it's put into that, and as it goes down the extractor, they've got they call it there the finisher. and that pushes it, the rind and stuff. So it crushes it, puts the rind, and just before it crushes it, there's a spray of water as it crushes it is spraying the oil off. So the oil, I hope I'm explaining this well. The oil, as it crushes it, the oil sprays out. Okay, and the water is what catches that oil, and that water with the oil in it goes down one separate pipe, and the other peel and pulp falls down into a separate thing. Okay, and that goes off to then be taken away and done with what they need, you know, for the pulp and everything else, the other products that they make. And then you've got the water with now the essential oil in it. And now to get the water and the oil separated, that's what's called centrifugation, or I think that's how you say it. I'm not very good at saying that, but and basically all it is a big spinner. It basically just spins the water around, which then separates the oil and the water, and then it goes into, so then some of the oil comes off and then goes into the oil vat, and then they do it again to make sure they get all the water, sorry, all the oil out, and it then goes into a big vat. And that is how they produce wild orange essential oil. All right, so I can see you all applauding me for my explanation there. Thank you very much for that. So it's actually quite a simple process. Like when you see how much equipment's there, it's not actually tons of equipment for wild orange. So at this moment, if you can get out your wild oranges, put them on your hands. Okay. And just have a smell, just bring you to the orange trees. I'm going to get you to have a look at your wild orange in a minute for the consistency of it, because there's a little video I'd like to show you. Okay. Now, just, you don't need to know this for wild orange essential oil, but it's quite cool to see how our sourcing partners use, you know, it's like pretty much only 1% of the orange is used for the essential oil. I've got the exact numbers here on my notes. Let me just find that. There's my notes with it. There we go. So yeah, it's 1 gram of oil or 0.95 gram of oil. If an average orange basically has 250 grams of oil in it, sorry, it weighs 250 grams, it has 1 gram to 0.5 gram of essential oil in it. So 1 orange. 140 of that grams goes to is cattle feed. So you see on there, it's animal feed. That's about 140 grams of it. So that's basically some leftover pulp, whatever the rind is, you know, the leftovers. So that's the biggest part. 90 to 100 grams of it is juice, which they bottle and sell as this amazing juice. And then 10 grams of pulp. Now, just a cool fact here for you that was pretty cool is that, did you know that when you've got your orange juice with pulp in it, that actually, it doesn't come with pulp. Different orange juice, like Tropicana or these different orange juice providers, they actually have pulp. The pulp comes separately, and then they put into the drink whatever pulp they want to add to it for whatever taste that their consumer wants. Okay, so it's quite interesting. They actually produce pulp separately to the juice because it's much easier to extract the pulp and the juice separately, and then when they sell it to clients, people can have just the juice because people like it without the pulp, but some people like it with different amounts of pulp in it. So that these orange producers, they sell it completely separately. So I found that really interesting. I thought you just get the juice and stuff like that. So and that's where you're saying the juices and the nectars, that's what comes out the cells. And then there is a bit of essential oil that is actually in the juice as well, but it's too expensive to extract every single part of the essential oil out of it. Okay, so it was really cool seeing all that, and that's just some of us playing around with essential oils. I did want to show you actually quickly. I just wanted to show you a quick video of, I couldn't get it, couldn't get it quick enough to get it off. So this is, just quickly, this is me eating one of the wild, oh, look really great there. Oh, can you not see, can you see my, I don't think you can see my slides, can you? Sorry. Oh, very good. No, that's not it. What am I doing? Oh, I've lost it. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Let's see if that works now. Rubbish. This is one of the owners. There were 3 brothers, and I got a video. He talked to me, and I got a video of him, but it's not seems gutted. I'll have to post this stuff for you later. It's not, that's not doing it. It's just very good. All right. Never mind. That's not very great. Okay, I'll do a post with some of those videos in it, because it's quite cool to see what he says about, you know, how the orange is made up, and to see, you can see how, what I really found impactful from my time and I spoke to the owners. Me and Sophia, actually, the 2 owners, we actually sat down. There was a table of 4, and we were the last to sit down, and there were 2 seats right next to the owners. So me and Sophia sat there. I think she was a little bit bored, but we sat there, and I was just asking them all about their essential oil production, and it was amazing. Now, if you get your essential oils out, your wild orange out, one of the things I want to show you is that it's almost a bit like water. It's very watery, the essential oil, you know, wild orange essential oil. You can see its consistency. It's I think the scientific term is viscosity. Is it high or low, babe, the viscosity of it, if it's very runny? Which way around is that? Can't hear you.
Can you not hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, yeah.
So it's a low viscosity. If it's...
Yeah, so it's got a very low viscosity, which means it can evaporate much quicker as well. So you might notice in some of your wild orange bottles and oils that have a lower viscosity, that actually sometimes you'll see, hang on, doTERRA haven't put enough wild orange in the bottle. And that's not the case. doTERRA will always put, because their droppers put the exact amount in, but the essential oil can evaporate through the plastic tops. Did you know that the plastic tops, under a microscope, you'll see that they're porous? Okay, much more porous than you think they are. Obviously not porous enough for the essential oil to go as its liquid form, but when it's heated or turns into a gas, it's porous and can go through the bottle tops. Now, I was looking at the bottle tops going, how is that possible? And then turning upside down and going, it's not coming out. But they assure me, and we asked this at the bottling plant as well. So at the plant that we went to in Cork, we asked several questions about this. And so that was fascinating. Let me just move my... so this is in Cork. And you see the vat down in the bottom left there? That vat was actually wild orange. That's a vat of wild orange, okay? And that's how that comes in from doTERRA. So that's already mixed with the 3 different wild orange blends, and now it's come in to be bottled, tested, and you wouldn't even believe how many times in this facility it's tested, and tested in so many different variety of ways. Okay, so it was then packaged there, and a lot of those things were On Guard. Those boxes in the top left were On Guard and Wild Orange. I believe that pallet there at the top was a pallet of wild oranges, and then they're stacked on there. If they there's a big fridge at the back that if some oils, or quite a few of the oils, they need to go in there to be stored properly, so that they don't evaporate through the bottle. They need to be stored properly, etc. So there's I wouldn't call it a refrigerator. He said it's not a refrigerator, but it's kept at a lower temperature to make sure of the quality, because sometimes they might stay in that facility for a little while. Okay, and then upstairs they have many rooms of testing. A few of us went to this, and I've got a few pictures. I didn't get actually any pictures in the facility with other people, but me and Bex were in there. Bex was in her element, loving it, and as you can see in her doTERRA coat, she didn't want to take it off. You know, back to being in science, didn't you, babe? You're like, I love this coat. I'd tease her, but yeah, it was really cool just to see all the different testing and stuff like that they do on the essential oils and how they go about it. And we could talk about that a lot. So, yes, that was the Wild Orange sourcing trip. So if you've got any questions, put them in the chat and I can answer them later. But while I was at the, actually, I'll let Bex go first. Bex, you go first, and then I'll share that.
Okay, cool. I'll just be really quick. That was amazing, Nate. I haven't heard all that yet, so that was lovely for me to hear, and I love hearing Nathan talk about oils. Brilliant.
I saw you taking notes. Were you taking notes from what I said?
I was totally taking notes. Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Thank you.
So just really quickly, so I absolutely loved Marlow and was so inspired by all the presentations. Really inspired. I was really interested in Dr. Alex. I don't know how to say her last name. Nitsch. She was brilliant. So I just wanted to give a couple of points that really stood out to me that could easily be missed as well. But definitely for those of you that didn't go, I just think these are important. So I'm really going to quickly just go through these, because I spoke with her afterwards as well to get clarification of these, because I love these points so much. And then we're going to hand it over to some guests, aren't we, Nathan? I think. Is that right?
Yes, we do have some special guests, yes.
Okay, so I'm not going to take very much time at all. So, you know, sometimes people get red skin, right? They get red skin reactions to the oils. And I've had this before. You've probably all had this. And it's not an allergic reaction. Sometimes, you know, we have thought, there was one person, we thought, oh no, is this person allergic? She was having, you know, quite a big reaction to the oils. And Dr. Alex said, no, you know, when you put the oils on, the natural thing the body does is it gets all the blood flowing to that area. And some people just have, for some reason, it's not an allergic reaction. They'll just have more redness than most, but everyone will get, you know, even there'll be a slight thing there because the blood's all going to that area. But don't worry, if someone does get a real kind of red reaction, it doesn't mean they're allergic to the oil. They just need to be, as we've kind of explained to them before, that you need to be a bit more careful and just build up to them and dilute them more. So no one's ever allergic to the oils. So just so you know, so that was just cool. It's called counter-irritant effect. It's the natural term for it. After 50 minutes to 2 hours of taking an oil in, any which way, topically, internally, aromatically, within 2 hours, they've got this machine now that can test that the essential will be coming out in your breath. Isn't that cool? So within 2 hours, it's coming out. And now, actually, not all the oil will leave your body in 2 hours, but they'll detect some of it. And some oil will get stored in your fat for a long, long time, because oils, they love the fat, and they'll go and get stored in your fat for quite a long time. They don't know exactly how long, but some oils can stay in your body for quite a while in your fat. It's called the counter-irritant effect. Other thing, just quickly, she showed this couple of really cool experiments. Filter paper, can't wait to do this at home. You can all try this at home. So she had some filter papers, and she first of all, tested the difference between essential oils and of course those kitchen oils. And as we know, the kitchen oils, they're much longer chains, which is why they're heavier, and they will make marks, leave lots of residue on the filter paper. So that's a way to test, between a nice light oil, our essential oils, and the big fatty olive oil type things. Now, what was really interesting is she then compared our oils to other companies' oils that perhaps claim to be pure, and our oils left no trace at all on the filter paper, and the other companies' oils did. So that's a really easy thing to do. I thought that's such a fun thing to do in a class. I'm going to start doing that sometimes in my classes. Not, I don't want to slam other oils. We're never like that. And it's just good to just say, look, this is how you can tell a pure oil. Anyone can do that at home, so that's just really cool and easy. And the last thing I want to share.
It might not be every oil though, mightn't it? Some oils might leave a residue. That's what I wanted to know.
If they've got some carrier oil in them. So some, yes, you're absolutely right, Nate. So some blends will have some carrier oil in, and the pure oil.
No, what I mean is like if I put, what I was thinking was if I put vetiver on it,
yeah,
or myrrh, surely that would leave a residue.
Because it would take longer. We'll have to test this. Let's all test it.
Yeah. Okay.
But you're right, babe. Some are like heavier than others. Yeah. So I wonder if it would just take longer. But my theory, I would think it wouldn't over time, it would go because it's, hasn't got any.
Let's do some science. Let's science it.
Can't wait. Let's do it. Okay. And the last thing I just want to share is she spoke about, and this is the bit I didn't understand. I had to go and speak to her afterwards about. She was saying how the essential oils, they go into your system, right? And it's perfect in that form for lots of things it's needed for in the body, right? So it will go to the parts of the body that it's needed to. So remember, our body is intelligent. The essential oils are intelligent. They know where to go. Now, what they also do is the essential oils, all of the essential oils will pass through the liver at some point. And the liver is also intelligent. This is what was fascinating to me. And it will know how much of that oil it needs to then break down into smaller particles of that oil. So it changes the chemistry of that oil when it breaks it down. And it will know it by knowing, I know it needs to get broken down into this to be able to help that condition in my body. Or I know it needs to get broken down even smaller to help this part of my body. And often the liver will go, actually, most of it needs to stay as it is, so I won't break down very much of it. Does that make sense? I've tried to explain. But I just found that incredible. So it just shows again just how these essential oils and our body just work so synergistically together. And medicine can't match it because medicine is not intelligent. It's dead. And so, yes, medicine can help us in way. Anyway, I'm not totally against medicine, but the oils are incredible because they're alive and they communicate with our body and adapt to what every single person needs, which is why everyone will get a different effect from the same oil. Ta-da! That's the end of mine. I'll hand it back to you, Nate. I have to go. Excuse me, everyone. I have to leave early tonight. But yes, enjoy the
Thanks, Bex. Just a couple of questions on Wild Orange. I love it. Being the Wild Orange guru as I am now. It's going to be my nickname now. What is the shelf life of Wild Orange with the doTERRA caps? Well, the shelf life, to be perfectly honest with you, they say 5 years, same as the citrus ones for Wild Orange. And if it's stored not that well, the reason is because the efficacy, the effectiveness of the chemistry in the oil won't be as effective for what you're wanting it to do. Will it still smell of Wild Orange in 10 years? Yes. Will it be as potent? No. Okay. If you store it correctly, will it be okay? Probably. Okay. So if it's stored correctly, it can last way longer than 5 years, but the standard that they put on oils like that is 5 years. Okay. And if you store it incorrectly, it can evaporate within 3 months. You know, so depending on how hot it is, it can go, so be, you know, so be really careful. It can go through the porous lid. And it does, as you probably all have seen, you know, so you've got to store them properly, which is why they're storing them well in cork, okay, and keeping the temperature well. I just wanted to, before we move to our amazing presenters, I just wanted to show you a couple of slides. Now, these slides, you are not allowed to share or copy, please. I don't know whether I'm even allowed to share them, but I'm going to. Okay, so please, just between us. Okay, so a lovely person who is a very high rank from Europe shared with us their organization. Okay, so this person is above Presidential Diamond. And the reason they showed this slide, and the reason I'm showing you this slide, is because of, they are showing here the levels and the legs where they have different people or different big leaders growing. And it doesn't matter where they are placed for ranking. Okay, they've got on their first leg several diamonds. They've got a Presidential Diamond on their first leg on their 7th level. They've got on their leg 2, they've got a diamond and a blue diamond underneath them. It doesn't matter where they are, that will still count if she's the enroller of them. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you, or she shared that with us. Next one is, she showed us how many elites she's got, how many premiers you got. And I'll show you this because it probably isn't quite as many as you think for the rank that she is. All right, it's massive. All right, it's not as many as you think it would need to be. Okay, and then the next slide shows you how many members. And these numbers may seem really big to you, and I get that. But in terms of, it's not as big as you think it is. And this person's team is massive. Okay, their rank is massive. What they get paid is massive. Okay, their retention rate. So the things that this person has done very well is their retention rate is 60%, which is the doTERRA average roughly. Okay, you know, our retention rate is under half of that. Okay, we've really got to work on getting our retention rate up, working on that. This person has a very good retention rate. They also have, if you can see that now, this blue line on the bottom left is this person's personal enrollments. And then on the other side, you've got this person's team enrollments, okay? And they're averaging about between 1,500 and 2,000 team enrollments a month, okay? Now, that is not as big as I thought it would be, okay? Now, that seems really big, but actually, you know, that can grow. If you can start to see how that grows, you can start to see actually that can be doable. And this is the biggest, you know, one of the biggest leaders we have, right? And it's just putting the numbers into a doable thing. And you don't necessarily need to go to this height, but it's just maybe inspiring and showing you what's possible and where you can get to for your next step. But the key thing I wanted to show you here is that this person is enrolling, you know, a lot a month, roughly on average 20 a month. Okay, personal enrollments. Okay, now there's a reason why this person has moved the way she has, and that is because of her personal enrollments. She has led her team. Okay, now you can see here how where she has done the work, her team then follow, and then what then follows? The volume. You can see it in the graph. Okay, so move your personal enrollments up. It moves everything because it changes your energy, it changes your excitement, it changes your know-how of the business. It's everything. So if you want to move your business, enroll. That's the key message. And I just wanted to put a few pictures of me and Sophia because it was so lovely being there with her and seeing the sights in Athens, and doTERRA's supporting us as well. So we now have 3 lovely people that are going to share for 5 minutes. some of the things that they got, the main thing that they got from the Marlow event. So let's start with Rentia. Are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Rentia.
Hey, hi everybody.
Thanks so much for coming on, Rentia. And Rentia is a silver leader, and she's been with us for how many years? 4 years now? 5 years now, Rentia?
Too many. No, many happy ones. Yeah.
Yeah, many happy ones. And Rencha's so positive and wonderful, and we're so grateful to have her in a team. And I thought, I saw her on Friday. I didn't get to chat to her as much as I wanted to, and I thought I'd like Rencha to share. So over to you, Rencha.
Cool, thanks. So Nathan's just asked me to share something that stood out for me that I've taken away from spending time at the Business Summit. And as much as we learn on these days together, and we always come away with a lot of information, something that stands out for me every time is oily knowledge, is sharing the oils with our customers, showing them how to use it, and then sharing things they don't expect. So that's something that Julie Evans, I don't know if you're on the call tonight, Julie shared with us oils we can show our customers how to use that we can use in different ways, unexpectedly. So if you're on Instagram, Emily Wright has been sharing a lot recently of how she uses everything on a daily basis. And it's something that even if you're not comfortable with sharing it, we can share what our leaders are sharing, right? Because we know it's compliant and it's okay to share. But so things like Julie reminded us about the cypress, and it's an oil of circulation. And so we can use it for our puffy eyes in the morning, something that most of us, I'm sure, are pretty conscious of. And so just showing your customers how to use it and reminding them how they can use it, because we get those physical benefits as well as emotional benefits when we use our oils. And when you've been using the oils for a while, you kind of forget that the newbies don't know that, hey, they can pop a drop of lavender in the mascara to help keep that bacteria away for a little bit longer, and things like this, that it is something fun that's DIY that gets your customers using their oils and seeing benefits and fun ways to use it, not just, you know, using your lavender for sleep. There's other ways to use it. Julie reminded us about using a drop of peppermint in your lip gloss. A new one that I learned was, if you don't even wear lip gloss, use your Tamer roller bottle. So if you don't have children in the house anymore, the kids' oils are still for you. I use the stronger roller for the backs of my hands. So it's not an oil that you have to feel like can only have one purpose. She was talking about using fractionated coconut oil as a makeup remover for cleansing the skin. And I think the other one, let me just turn my page here, that Julie reminded us of was using Yarrow Pom as a primer before your makeup. So very little, obviously, because you wanted to soak in before you apply your makeup, but it is in the recipe that we see everywhere for the glow serum. So have a little DIY with your customers, or record yourself doing it in 2 minutes, creating that blend, and share it on your WhatsApp groups or your customer groups online. We can use Yarrow Pom to help with the hand thing again, the age spots and the wrinkles that we get on our necks and all of this. So it was, for me, Julie's section kind of stood out because it was that great reminder of sometimes just having our customers seeing us use them in different ways. There's the plethora of benefits. So that was a cool one for me.
Thank you so much, Rencha. Really appreciate you sharing that. And yeah, it was, I learned some stuff from Julie. I was thinking, you know, does it work on men, Julie? Rencha, do you think it's going to work on men?
Absolutely. We've all got skin, works on all ages.
The puffy eyes, you know, I just don't really think about using skincare stuff really, but maybe there's some other men on here that do.
Yeah,
and
there's benefits for us all.
Some of my friends do use it, but yeah, some stuff. Thank you, Rencha.
No worries.
And do we have the lovely Louise Wade So Louise actually shared some amazing customer care stuff with us. And I actually asked Louise to share just 5 minutes if she can do it in 5, but not everything, Lou, but you know.
I think people would rather me talk about sex though, wouldn't they? The main feedback from my talk.
You'll have to explain that joke, Lou.
No, don't worry.
Not everyone's going to understand that one.
We're told to focus and celebrate our strengths, aren't we? So, so I'm Louise, and I'm the prodigal daughter of Becky and Nathan. I've been away for a while, but I was asked to speak about customer care, really. And I shared the analogy of being in the teaching profession. We have Ofsted that come in, and they come in to look at the value added that you bring to the children in your class. And so I was sharing the idea of, if Ofsted were coming into our business, would they mark us as outstanding for our customer care, or satisfactory, or in need of improvement? And customer care really is all about helping each customer improve their health. And that could be using the oils and the products, as well as lifestyle habits. So one thing I have found that's worked really well. Oh yeah, sorry. Can you hear me?
I just wanted to introduce you better, actually, because so that people understand. No, it's
I've
because
only got 3 minutes left.
no, you can have more. It was important because I want people to realise how good you are at customer care. Okay, so they understand what you're saying is pretty amazing. So Lou joined doTERRA 10 years ago. It was she got celebrated as her 10-year anniversary in the recognition. Okay, so she's one of the longest wellness advocates in Europe and in the UK. Big round of applause for Lou.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Well, we'll send it to you. Yeah, Lou is a platinum. Okay, and over the last, I think, 3 or 4 years, Lou, you haven't been that particularly active in terms of building the business, have you? But in terms of your customer care, you have been incredible at it, because you have been keeping and holding your rank, okay, and to an extent, and your volume, and keeping your volume to an extent as well, without enrolling much. Does that make sense? So I just wanted to share that so that you can see what Lou knows what she's talking about. So over to you, Lou, and I just wanted to acknowledge you.
Yeah, I think I'm a good example of when you create a community for your customers and keep that care going, they stay with you.
Yes.
Sadly, I'm a good example of not looking after my builders and sharers enough, so they can leave if they don't feel part of a community as well. So it's so important to have that community with your customers as well as builders and sharers. So yeah, what is nice actually is, I don't know how you view your success, but when you look at your 60 to 90 days, it shows you how many people have cancelled their LRP orders. And I had a quick look recently, and none of my customers have cancelled, and that is such a sign of success for me anyway, because I've lost 25 customers in my organisation in the past 60 days, but they weren't my customers. So anyway, so one simple thing you can do is for free, create a Google form questionnaire, and these are so easy to create and send out to your customers however long they've been with you. I then add the information onto a program called Streak, which again is a free program. But the great thing about a Google form is that all the answers come up on an Excel spreadsheet straight away, so you've got access to all of that information. And so how I use this information, for example, like today, I'm trying to look for people who will host classes for me. So I've gone into someone's profile on Streak, and I can see when they enrolled, what kit they started with. I know what health concerns they had at the beginning of their doTERRA journey, what lifestyle changes they wanted to work on, what topics they're interested in. I know what I've sent her in goodie bags or for birthday gifts over the years. I can see every email interaction and WhatsApp message, it's all stored there. And I can see that she wants to host a class. That information is all in there, so I've been able to get in touch with her. And then in that communication, I'm able to say, well, how's it going with this health goal that you were working on? I saw that you still want to work on sleep. Here's some good recipes for some roller bottles for you. So it just makes every interaction very personalized, because you just won't remember every information that's shared with you from your customers. So it's all about helping them to keep on improving their lifestyle, their health, and keep them educated about the products. Oh, that's done. 3 minutes. There you go.
Thank you, Lou. And we're going to get Lou to do a more detailed team call on it. She's not been aware of that yet.
I'm going to start charging you for this.
We'll take that charge, Lou. It was so good. It was so good. I actually thought after the presentation, I was like, I need to pay Lou for that, because that is way better than we've got. So it's really good, Lou. I'd just like to introduce our last guest. We have the lovely Karina. Now, Karina was at both days, so I wanted her to finish last, and I wanted her to also give how she felt about the event, and she's going to talk about one of the speakers that she resonated with, or the talk that was resonated with her as well. And Karina is a Silver. Karina's been with doTERRA 6 years, is it, Karina?
Yeah, I think it's over 6 years now. Yeah.
It might well be, but and Karina has been on a journey. So she's gone on the journey with us over the last few months, with us doing the coaching stuff and things like that. And so I just wanted Karina to share as well. So over to you, Karina.
Thank you. So is it all right to share my screen? Because I just have some photos which help me prompt my,
of course,
they help me prompt my memory.
Go for
and
it.
Thank you. And I just, I'm dyslexic, so my memory does make me get nervous. But I wanted to share my highlights. Thank you for asking me. I'm just going to minimize that screen on the side there. There we go, so I can see what I'm doing. But yeah, I came away so inspired, and I think I didn't expect such an amazing energy. I felt so invigorated, and what was so lovely was that Friday was really, really packed. There were no spare seats in the entire room, and there were so many speakers that brought amazing different things. But I think one thing that came through for me was the energy of what we're doing, the oils that we're using, and it was in Bex's presentation. Lindsay was talking about the emotions. Becky Bowles, your mum, was talking about the Zendocrine amazing benefits. And I thought I'd start at the beginning with Claire Bjerken, and she presented lifelong vitality in a way I've not seen before. And having done it for a few years, it's lovely when someone who's a qualified pharmacist, who's been working in that industry as a pharmacist for so long, talks about the holistic and alternative side of essential oils and the energetics. So I love that. I was like, this really sort of floats my boat. It really interested me. We didn't just look at the ingredients, we looked at how it raises our vibration. So it changes how we think, our way of being, and it literally activates a new vibration within us. It's literally nature's medicine, nature's magic working in our cells, which is just incredible. So if we're using these oils and sharing them, we can't help but get better and raise our vibration and share that with people, which is just a massive privilege. So she talked about stress management. We talked about the antioxidants, and Bex touched on that as well. And I loved how she mentioned about the energetics of the essential oils. So just for example, we've got ginger on the side, which is a masculine energy, and how it can help so many multiple body systems, and it's in our lifelong vitality as well. So I loved how she brought that energetics really out of a product. If I can make this move forward. And then Bex, when she spoke about the science, again, she mentioned the vibrational frequency of oils. And I've not heard that specifically spoken about at training events before. And I love this because, we use them very often for physical ailments. And yet what's happening, these oils are like a key in our cells, and it raises our vibration. We cannot help but be healthier and happier. Our multiple body systems balance themselves, And I just thought that was such a nice way of describing it. Like they are a natural key to the center of ourselves and really balances our body functions, our frequencies. It clears out negative and emotional energy as well, which is wonderful. And it's like another side element to the oils that we often would not often speak about. I mean, I'm speaking about it quite a lot because I work as a massage therapist and I have my hands on people and I can physically need to sort of balance my energy and help other people do that as well. But there's a spiritual awareness with it as well. So I found that really heartwarming that was coming through. And just like as a huge signpost that I'm in the right places at the right time. And being true to yourself, you know, everybody shares in different ways. But I think the vibrational frequency, what Bex mentioned that coffee, and I really love my coffee. So I was really relieved to see that I can restore my frequencies by inhaling my essential oils really quickly after my coffee, because coffee is one of my last remaining weaknesses. So if you're having your coffee, guys, use your essential oils after that. So on a practical note, I was really glad to see that we can raise our frequencies after having our treats. And then with the Zendocrine, so balancing our liver, looking after our liver with this amazing trio has so many emotional benefits. It really helps us to be kind to ourselves and to sort of balance our hormones, and literally everything works better once you get that balance with the liver and the digestive system, because they are completely linked. What I love about the oils is that they're so interwoven, like you can't use an oil and not have it affect you positively emotionally. So it really helps us when we are literally choosing our energy, deciding where we're going with our businesses. And, you know, those mindset blocks, Anna spoke about the blocks that we face sometimes and how we can sort of self-sabotage. But using your oils is going to make that a smaller issue, a smaller problem. And so Zendocrine is like a heart nurturing oil. Being kind to your liver is going to help you be kind to yourself generally, and it's going to help you help other people. So I love how it has an amazing knock-on effect. And this is just sort of that the energetics aside from the amazing points Neil shared with, you know, running an actual business. But the energy was fantastic. And I think that was the biggest thing that I was so happy to be a part of. And like the possibilities are enormous. I've pinched several of these pictures, you'll notice, Nathan. So everybody's been sharing their images. Team members who haven't been at the event, they see how happy we are. We've had comments of people going, oh, I missed out, I want to be there next time. You really must try and get to these events, because we have something really special, and a huge amount of your team, Nathan, is coming together on these events, and it really lifts your spirits. It is fantastic to be in that room with these people, and you know, we're all helping each other. It's an amazing thing to share with people and to carry forward, which is going to help so many people globally. We are in a fantastic place, and there's so much room for growth. And using your oils, it's going to help everybody. And you know, the statistics that Rob shared as well, there's still huge potential for growth. So I'm hugely grateful. Absolutely loved the weekend, and I'm still buzzing from it. So thank you. I'll stop sharing.
No, thank you, Karina. That was wonderful and perfectly on point. Appreciate that. Yeah, thank you, Rensha. Thank you, Louise. Thank you all for sharing. Just to, I'll end the call here on the recording.